Jock Landale, BC Zalgiris, welcome to EuroLeague Rooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cyrus is a great coach, man. He understands how a player thinks. He understands, he understands the life better than anyone else. You know, he's been through college, he's been to the NBA, he's been, on national championship teams, he's been on EuroLeague championship teams. He's been through it all. So this guy he's a winner, man, and that's what you want to see in a coach. It's what you want as a player, is to be in a winning situation. We might not be winning right now, but like the mindset never changed. He never strays from the path of like, okay, this is what we need to do to win. And as a player, that's all you really want. You want to come somewhere where you can be taught from a guy who knows how to win, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So to be able to have the opportunity to work closely with him, and he pays attention to me and helps me out with everything, is awesome. So we've built a good relationship of he helps me out as best he can, and he talks to me a lot on where we need to get better and all that kind of stuff. Is unbelievable. It's the attention to detail that is relevant here is awesome. And he's probably the best coach I've ever played for. So I try and lift like 3 or 4 times a week just to make sure everything's still balanced and even, and that I don't have to deal with any overuse injuries or something like that. So like having all that stuff there for you, just to like use at the drop of the hat is awesome. You go in there at all hours. You go there at 3 o'clock in the morning if you really want to. So I suppose one of the biggest assets about this whole thing is the fact that we can come in whenever we want, get extra work in, and I think that's a big reason why so many of the guys here are so good, is because we have 24-hour access to our own personal gym, and I think that's something that's pretty rare in Europe from what I understand at least. So about to get this extra work in, a day off after the game. Stay tuned.
I suppose it's one of the big things about the Zalgiris facilities, the recovery stuff. We can get in here every day, whatever time, whatever hour, look after our bodies, because at the end of the day, your body's your paycheck, and it's your livelihood in terms of this business. So for us to be able to come in here and do contrast with a hot cold tub, maybe hit the sauna after a weight session or something like that is huge. And we get great use out of this. Usually catch me and Tom, maybe Zach as well, always in the hot tub every day. Big time for us, huge.
For me, that's like such a big part of my daily routine, and it probably makes up more time than like the basketball training itself, is just trying to keep fresh so that I can prolong my career. And this is a big picture. Like obviously you got to take it game by game, season by season, but at the end of the day, you want to try and play as long as you can, because this is your livelihood. So, I try and get in before practice, hour and a half beforehand. I'll stretch, I'll roll, I'll try and lift weights before practice, and then afterwards, I'll go in and I'll see the doctors, get a massage, get some treatment, and then I might come home and I've got my Normatec here. I've got what else have I got? Oh, I got like a Theragun. I've got all that stuff here. Yeah, so I try and really pay attention to all that stuff, because at the end of the day, this is your career, and I'm not just in it for the fun and games. I'm really trying to build something and try and do something cool with this profession. So I take my yoga very seriously. Yoga is kind of like a way for me to stretch out my body in the morning. So I'll try and do usually I'm pretty religious about it. I try and get up every day and do a little like 30-minute flow, stretch my body out, and then it's just a good way to kind of shut your brain off from all the stresses and pressures that the life brings, because that's a big part of the life as well. Is you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and any athlete knows how much pressure you put on yourself. So for me to be able to just kind of like hit the floor, switch my brain off, focus on my breathing and stuff it's a huge piece to me, being able to try and stay leveled and not get too anxious about the situation I'm in or something like that.
Now you're missing everything, so how you count?
Yeah, because I'm not out here whooping your ass.
How do you count?
Come shoot with me and I'll hit every shot.
I don't think that you can really put like an age on leadership. Like it's something that you kind of I don't know if you're born with it or if you develop it, but at St. Mary's, for example, like the level of like talk out on the court and practice and in the weight room is it's crazy. Everyone's always clapping and yelling and talking, and it's something that like I kind of just developed in college. And I was the captain of the team at the very end there. I was in the leadership group the last 2 years, and it's just kind of something that I developed, and I just have like an image now, like pretty much just imprinted in my brain because of those guys, on like what it's like to be a leader. And I try really hard to just bring an energy and talk to the court that's contagious, because everyone feeds off that kind of stuff. So I don't really care how old I am. If I'm new in a city or a team, like it's just kind of who I am, and I try and get out there every night and bring a contagious energy, I suppose. And especially being a big man and being a 5-man, I mean, you're the anchor of the defense, and all that kind of stuff. So you need to talk. You're always at the back of the defensive line. You need to be able to tell everyone what's going on, where to go. So I just try and talk as much as I can, and I mean, I do have a loud voice, so it's something that I try and use to my advantage as best I can. So we got the day off today, one of the rare few. I try and take a bit of time out of my schedule, which is always pretty basketball hectic, to take a step back from it all. And one of the things that a couple of me and the guys like to do this year, I don't know what they did last year, but we head to Vilnius and we kind of walk around some pretty decent shopping out there and some great food spots. So right now we're about to head out to Vilnius for a couple of hours and check out the town there and have a walk around and see if we can find a little hole in the wall where we can sit down and have some food and coffee and just hang out. So that's the plan for this afternoon. Gotta get some coffee in me, man. You had me up too early this morning. Maybe I'll indulge in a little bit of winter attire for cold winter that's about to kick up. So
But yeah, first stop is definitely coffee. So this is the one thing Tom was good at, was getting directions to places, and we got there in no time at all. But I'm much more of an exploring kind of fella. Just get out there and have a walk around. Right now I'm trying to get some of this wine, so I've got to figure this shit out this weekend.
You know, if you know me, I'm a big music head. I've always got music playing in the background, just no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm watching TV, I'll have music on. You know, if I'm studying, I'll have music on. I don't really know where that passion came from. I guess I just enjoy seeing, like, you know, how music's evolved and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've got probably like 10 more albums out here now, so I'll take those home and add them to the collection.
What's up, baby? It's good to be back. Season 2, EuroLeague. Working, gotta keep fighting every day. Try not to get hit by this car. Guest appearance from my boy Jock. Working, trying to get better.
I suppose this is kind of the place we usually come to when we're here and walk around, and some good shopping and stuff. So see if we can try and not break the bank account today, but.
This is my spot. Kind of living in a pretty nice building out here in Kaunas. There's a few familiar faces from the club and stuff out here, so I'll give you a little tour right now, show you what's up. This is my bedroom. Not too bad right now, actually. Got a few jerseys. This is the World Cup one, which we probably beat Lithuania in, which is always great. Some good memories from that, which we'll talk about later on. This is that jersey we played against Red Star in. I think that was for like the Troops Day for Lithuania or something like that. I can't really remember, but that's pretty sweet. I mean, you can't really see it too well, you know. Standard dad joke for camo, but whatever. This is the first EuroLeague game jersey that I played, which is tough. The shorts are actually dope, and I'll probably wear those out in public, but I got like 10 more World Cup jerseys sitting up there, which I don't plan on bringing out right now, but kitchen, pretty small setup, kind of dirty right now. I didn't really anticipate on doing this today, so didn't really clean it up too great, but you know, simple, everything you need, good fridge, oven, got the iPad set up, just got some I don't even know what this is, but my agency sent out a couple things for Christmas. These are cookies, actually, so I'm not going to eat those because my body's a temple. I haven't had a carb in like 15 years, I don't think. But that's the Australia SIG fam. That's the agency I'm with, and then BC Zalgiris. So that's pretty dope. It's my ideas book, which I use a lot. I have heaps of stuff in here which I kind of mess around with. So I'm messing around with a couple things for like t-shirt ideas right now. You know, diet, business. Kind of come up with random thoughts when you got so much time on your hands out here that sometimes you just need something to write it all down in. I'm a big reader, so this is nothing of my collection, but kind of the ones I've been pushing through recently. Poker set. I bought this because a bunch of the guys on my team said that they were keen to come over and do like a nightly poker session, and it's happened once in like 7 weeks because they're all dogs. But you know, I got the Scout set up. This is the dining table, which I'm yet to really use. And then another book. As you can tell, I'm a big time writer, but this is the class I'm taking right now, so I won't show you my login information. But you know, we're doing a bit of a bit of a business course right now, just personal wealth management and just taking notes and stuff like that, trying to log it down for the future. Big record player. I love my vinyl, so I have a massive collection back in Australia, which I initially started up with someone in America, and my best mate got into it big time, so we went and bought these the other day. I'll break one of these out soon and throw this on, but we bought these just recently. I think I've got like 30 or 40 vinyls back in Australia. Probably been collecting these for like 2 years now, so kick it here most of my time, hang out. This is a guest bedroom. Visitors that come, pretty small, pretty stock standard, TV, bed. Hopefully get some good use out of this at some point. I've got some mates coming out pretty soon, which is dope. And then I just had a little bit of a hookup from my agent, who bought these bad boys out, which are fresh, and I intend on breaking them out either this year for Australia Day or hopefully for the Olympics. So see what happens, but those are fresh. I'm a big fan of the kangaroo, so Sig fam, you guys hooked it up. That's dope. So stoked with those. But yeah, this is my spot. It's pretty easy, small place, gets the job done. Compared to what I had last year in Serbia though, this is a lot smaller and actually a lot better. So I'm a big fan of it. Don't regret moving in here at all. It's awesome. Done. Playing for my country in an Olympics is, for me, the pinnacle of personal basketball achievements. Being able to play for your country is unlike any experience I've ever had before. I got an email from them and saying that I'd been selected to go to the selection camp for the World Cup, and that was one of the most emotional experiences of my life. I broke down. I was calling my family, whatever. They were all super pumped for me, and even at that point, I was just like, man, at least I get to go to a selection camp and like play with Paddy, Bogues, Deli, all these guys, Joe Ingles. So I was just kind of, at the time, I was just like, man, I'm just along for this ride. Like, I've got nothing to lose. I'm a fresh face around here, all this kind of stuff. And never in a million years did I imagine that I'd be then starting at a World Cup. So, I went into training camp. I had a really, really good training camp. They put me at the 4 spot for the first time ever. I'd never done anything like that. I'd always been a 5 by nature, so they put me at the 4 spot. I just kind of took it as it was and tried to do the best job I could. I feel like I meshed pretty well, but at that point you're playing with all these guys who are basketball geniuses that you don't really have to do anything other than just follow the game plan. So I was just out there just trying to be a hustle guy, run the floor hard, transition, get rebounds, whatever, and it was the most fun I've ever had playing basketball by a country mile. A great group of guys. Became real close with Joe and Bogues and Chris Goulding and all those guys. And these are legends of Australian basketball. So to be able to be on the court with them at the same time and mesh with them real well as people off the court is an awesome experience. And it's something that I'll remember forever. But the one thing that was probably the most fun of all that was the experience at Marvel Stadium in front of 55,000 Australians and getting to play the US and beating them. That was something different, man. Like, still gives me chills to this day. So that Booms experience was unbelievable. And with the Olympics coming up this year, I'm hopeful that I can make that team as well and then go to an Olympic Games. And there'll be such a deep Australian team that it'll be really tough to make, but it'll be a great experience to be alongside those guys. But yeah, it sucks being away from home for Christmas. Obviously, I haven't had Christmas with my family in like 4 years now. This will be my 4th year in a row. But it is what it is. There's the sacrifices you got to make in the lifestyle of being a professional athlete, and especially basketball. You kind of you get a whole lot of conflicts, you know, with family holidays and stuff. So my family, of course, will have it back in Australia where it's hot right now. So they'll be up at the farm hanging out with the rest of the family, kind of doing their thing. But it's fine. Like when I wake up out here, they'll always FaceTime me in for an hour, and I'll sit around the table and talk to my grandparents and the cousins and aunties and uncles and everything. And so it's pretty much like I'm there. But it sucks not being able to share that stuff with them. But I get to see them a couple months later. I think like team sports is such a unique experience because you meet so many interesting people from so many different walks of life. Like, I mean, as a job, my job is essentially to look after my body, stay fit, and then go and put a ball in a hole. Like, it's the best job in the world. Like, it takes me all around the world. I've been to America, China, Australia, Serbia, Italy, France, Spain, Lithuania. I've been all over the place, and it's just something that I never thought that I would do. So to see the world through that and get to experience the cultures of so many places and see how crazy fan bases can be, and the passion behind it all is something that's just unbeaten for me. Like, I wouldn't trade this job up for anything in a million years. It's something that you just never realize that you could do, like, is have people who you're able to connect with all around the world. So that's one of the most special parts about it, is just meeting people from different walks of life and getting their stories, and you see a completely different way of living. For me to be able to experience them and be able to understand how they've grown up, it really does put a lot of things in perspective for you. And everyone thinks that like being a professional athlete is an easy job and an easy lifestyle, and it's really not. But I would never complain about what I'm doing, because basketball has taken me so many different places, and I've met so many people that I feel like I'm getting timeless experience. And it's so valuable to me to be able to meet all these people and get to live alongside them and play alongside them as a professional. So for me, it's just trying to be, the best player I can be, and also, playing in the NBA, winning some EuroLeague championships, and playing in the NBL. Those are for sure, the 4 biggest goals for me.